Hey, I want to talk to you just briefly. I want to encourage you on out of the Genesis chapter 37 and the account of Joseph, who was Jacob's 11th son. So he was at this time quite young. And we pick it up in here. He's 17 years old, and all of his brothers, his 10 brothers, are all older than him. We all know, and you've heard of Joseph and the coat of many colors. I want to look at that coat for just a second and encourage you with something. And that is the coat that Joseph wore had so much significance, and Joseph was able to live his entire life because of what that signified. So it says Joseph was a young man of 17, tending flocks and things like that. Verse 3, Now Israel loved Joseph more than any of his other sons, because he had been born to him in his old age. And he made an ornate robe for him. And when his brothers saw that their father loved him more than any of them, they hated him and could not speak a kind word to him. So there's a lot of things you could talk about in here, including parenting styles and some issues that are going on here. But what I want us to see is this coat that Jacob gave to Joseph. And people who translate Bibles have trouble with what this means. But the coat has something to do with a tunic and wrists and ankles. And so probably the coat of many colors is a little bit of a misnomer that came out in early, not as good translations, and then it became so popular it continued on. But it had something to do with a tunic with ankles and wrists. Here's what I want you to see. The coat that Jacob gave his 11th born son came down to his wrists, came down to his ankles. And what that meant clearly was Joseph was in management. And if you were a worker, you'd have a short sleeve jacket, and your coat and your tunic would be pulled up to your legs so you could walk around and run around. So Joseph was given a very special place of management over others, and it was bestowed upon him by his father, and Joseph embraced that. He embraced the identity that came through his father. He knew he wasn't just a slave. He knew he wasn't just a grunt worker. He knew that he was absolutely essential to carrying on the Father's business. So here's what I want you to see today. If you've come to know Christ, Christ has robed you with his righteousness. We are bought by Christ. And he actually says the robes of righteousness come upon us. We are different. We're seen by what he calls us. We are identified as who he says we are. And so when you see yourself, don't see yourself as worthless. Don't see yourself as junk. Don't make a list of all the things you can't do. Don't worry about all the things you hate about yourself. Instead, see yourself the way that your Father in heaven sees you. And when you embrace that and truly believe it, then you'll see the very next thing was that Joseph had a dream. What could Joseph do? Joseph could see the future because he embraced who he was in the present, and who he was in the present was defined by his father. And so if you want to be the one who sees the things God is doing and sees out there and really sees to places where others can't, makes you a leader, you need to embrace who you are today and be defined by God the Father, and then you'll be able to have a dream.